evening and welcome to a program devoted entirely to Lefties Losing It. Let's start, lefties, with the tragic fall of Bill Burr, a comedian who was once hilarious, unashamedly politically incorrect and not scared to take on the left's groupthink. But sadly, a lefty wife and a severe case of TDS, well, it's reduced Bill Burr to a sad joke, a very unfunny sad joke. Watch him here on The View. Yes, The View. Here he had a golden opportunity to poke fun at these crazy, hysterical women, but instead he's joined their ranks and is railing against Elon Musk.
These tech nerds that want to build robots because they don't know how to talk to hot women they're gonna take over the world. They're going to take over. They are literally going to replace us. We're like beta right now, and they're coming out with like the VCR. And I think Elon has got the rockets going because they realize there's other Earths out there, and they're gonna trash this one, and because they don't have any concern for it, and they're going to move on to the next Earth. Not
sure that a billionaire with at least 7 baby mamas that we know of has any issues talking to hot women. He should probably be talking to less. But great call there, Bill Burr. Remember when you were funny? I do.
Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on. That's it. Name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your city. You can't do it.
Yep, the WNBA and body positivity were favourite topics, and it was always funny.
Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Oh my God, that's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh my God, you're a goddess. You're gorgeous. You look great in that bikini. I would kill myself if I looked like that. You saw an alcoholic where you'd be like, oh my God, look at you. You're face down, passed out. Your kids are crying. You're a hero. You're a god. Keep doing what you're doing.
But now Bill Burr is just another lefty losing it, cheering on a murderer and railing against capitalism.
Some corporate had to give himself a bonus check at the end of the year. What if we made it worse, but made it look the same?
Yeah.
Then could our pools be bigger? Free Luigi!
Where did the laughs go, Bill? Where did they go? But I've got to say, Bill Burr still has some ways to go to rival Rosie O'Donnell in the loopy stakes. Fresh from fleeing the US for Ireland, Rosie is now engaging in dangerous democracy denial and trying to start a conspiracy theory about the swing states and Elon Musk's influence.
I question why the first time in American history a president has won every swing state and is also best friends, and his largest donor was a man who owns and runs the internet. So I would hope that that would be investigated and that we would see whether or not it was an anomaly or something else that happened on election night in America when Kamala Harris was filling up stadiums with people who supported her, and Donald Trump was not able to do that. So it's curious to me. And as an American and a believer in democracy, I would hope that we would be able to look at all of the reasons why this happened.
I must have missed when Elon Musk owned and ran the internet. What is she on about? And you won't be shocked to learn that her circle is very small and very insular.
How do you think America has changed in the months since he's been elected?
Well, if you talk to any Americans, they're all in shock, or at least the ones that I know. I will have to say I don't really have many people in my life that support him. I don't really understand how people could support a convicted felon.
Let's go from Ireland to Britain now and hear from the UK delegate for the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women.
I'm actually going to be talking to you about my nipples.
As an out and proud trans woman, I can tell you my nipples have been on quite the journey. Soon after starting HRT, my nipples became quite scandalous.
This next clip is delicious. It's got my favourite ingredient, a big fat dose of instant karma. Watch here as some deranged Karen accosts a man on the New York subway for the crime of wearing a MAGA cap. She felt emboldened to be a nasty bully. After all, she's in deep blue New York. But listen as others in the carriage tell her to back off. And they also tell her that people like her are the reason why Trump won. Enjoy.
That's why he won. People like you. That's why he won. That is why he won, because of people like you need to stop it. Let him live.
Bro, just like, bro, chill, bro.
You're okay with that? He's a racist.
How can I be racist?
He's a racist. If you voted for Trump, you're a racist. He's a racist.
How can I be racist?
No, he's not racist.
Then why are you wearing that hat?
And the best bit is about to come because this MAGA-hating loser is about to land flat on her face. Literally.
Well, this is my stuff. I hope you enjoy the hat.
How good is that? Can you believe that crazy woman chased that poor kid? As I said, instant karma. Now, the Democrats are in all sorts of trouble. Their approval rating is under 30%, in the 20s, and the party is now being taken over by the looniest far-left radical commies to ever be elected to public office in the United States. Among them is this charmer from the great state of Texas. Let's listen to how Jasmine Crockett used to sound.
No one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. It's just not what my plan was.
What a nice girl, but marvel here at the accent switch, or code switch, as the kids call it.
The trans kids that want to play the sports, Lord have mercy, that is the biggest issue that we had. Since when? Since when? Find the little trans child that is ruining your life. Like, I mean, I'm just like...
Talk about Kamala 2.0, God forbid. And now that she's adopted this ghetto persona, despite her private school education, including at the very expensive, very exclusive Rhodes College, Jasmine has been accused of inciting violence.
On March 29th, it's my birthday. And all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. Yes.
What a nice girl. And here she talks about wanting to punch opponents, including Ted Cruz.
I think that you punch. I think you punch. Okay, you okay with punching? But like, it's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head, like, hard, right? Like, there is no niceties with him, like, at all. Like, you go clean off on him, right?
Yes, the modern Democrats, they're the party of Neo-Marxists like AOC and Bernie Sanders. They're leading the party right now, leading them straight to the depths of hell.
This isn't just about Republicans either. We need a Democratic Party that fights harder for us too.
We have a message for Mr. Trump. And that is, we will not allow you to move this country into an oligarchy.
No wonder Gavin Newsom is trying to relaunch himself as a moderate, not the far-left governor of California. But he's got a fair bit of baggage. Even CNN can see that. Watch here as he claims that no one in his office would use the woke term Latinx, Latinxes I like to say, except, well, someone did.
By the way, not one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx.
So can we finally put that to bed?
Yeah,
we agree?
where did that even
No more Latinx,
like,
everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from. I'm like, what are people talking about?
But there was a person who used Latinx. It was actually a really important person. It was him, right?
Yeah, that's right. And look, these aren't minor shifts. These are progressive issues that Gavin Newsom used to champion until fairly recently. And now he's not just walking away from them. He's sort of acting like they were never legitimate.
I hope we can really paint a picture in terms of consciousness of how impactful this has been on the Latinx community. The Latinx and Black communities. You've got politicians that are banning not assault rifles, but the word Latinx. They're not even serious.
And another Hollywood actress has decided to show us how daft and out of touch she is. Here is star of Grey's Anatomy, Ellen Pompeo, just being comically clueless and a know-it-all at the same time. It's not a good combo.
I think we all need a lot more empathy right now, and so I hope we take that away. I mean, why are old white men the only ones who are allowed to be felons?
Right.
No one else can stay in this country if they're a felon, but somehow if you're...
And he's not even that white.
Oh, just a profound point. How proud was she of what she just said? Really? But you can't expect someone who is this dim and out of touch to understand why Americans want illegal immigrants, particularly gangbangers, out of the country. Watch this.
Your $20 million salary was publicly shared to the world. How did you feel when that came out?
Well, my manager at the time said something to me that literally hit me like a brick. He said, are you ready to be unpopular? I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, I just don't want you to think that everyone's going to go in and cheer for you and clap for you and bow to you and think you're the dopest thing ever. Because there's going to be a lot of people who are not happy for you. And that had never occurred to me.
What? It had never occurred to her that people may be critical, may be unhappy that some second-rate actress is earning $20 million? Let's check in now with some leftist protesters who are asked about their job status. Cue much hysterics and victim playing.
I got to ask, it's the middle of the day on Wednesday. Do you have a job?
I do. Wednesdays, I have some flexibility, and during the day, I'm able to go do stuff. I have stuff I gotta get do.
We leave our jobs because
tomorrow.
Blood is not more precious than the resident children. That no salary, no slave wage is enough to stop me from actually raising my voice.
Now let's have some fun watching Dylan Mulvaney run in heels. Here he is mocking womanhood again. He's notched up more than 1,000 days of mocking womanhood, and he now has a billboard in Times Square.
Oh my God, it's day 1096 of being a girl. It's year 3, and that's me on a billboard in Times Square. Ah! I've got 3 Bs, a book, a bath bomb, and a billboard. Oh, wow. Now I think we should hand out some paper doll books to some of these people out in Times Square. Let's go.
Now, don't go accusing the Democrats of being in a cult. Not like they'd be mindless sheep regurgitating the same phrase over and over again. The latest talking point is all about this moment.
The strength that we have is in this moment.
Listen to your constituents. Center them in this moment.
But I can tell you that there are a lot of people that are watching his leadership in this moment. This is the moment.
I think about what's happening, in this moment.
What's important is that we meet this moment.
So are these current Democrats the ones to meet the moment?
What do you want to see us doing right now in this moment?
And which Democrats are actually going to stand up against Elon Musk and Donald Trump in this moment?
You know, in this moment, the Democrats' arguments against deportations, against stopping illegal immigration, amount to just one thing: their love of cheap foreign labour. This blue-haired Texan is part of the problem.
Who's going to build the Texas detention camps? Who's going to build them? I'll wait.
And to another pitifully cheap and nasty attack from New Democrat favourite Jasmine Crockett, here the privately educated Congresswoman mocks Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who is disabled and in a wheelchair, calling him Governor Hot Wheels.
As we in these hot-ass Texas streets, honey, y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot-ass mess, honey. So yes.
I regret to inform you that the Democrats have lost whatever tenuous grip they had on sanity. Watch this performance from Democrat Congressman Robert Garcia. He actually thought he was clever here, asking the CEO of taxpayer-funded PBS the following.
The American people want to know, is Elmo now, or has he ever been, a member of the Communist Party of the United States? A yes or no?
No.
But let's talk about somebody else. Let's talk about Cookie Monster. Now, we know that Health Secretary RFK Jr. is coming out against fast food and baked goods. Are we silencing pro-cookie voters? Yes or no? Ms. Karger.
But cookies are a sometime food.
Now, these two guys actually live together. They're friends. They're supportive of each other. Now, that might be triggering to our chairwoman and someone in this committee, and perhaps that's also why we're here today. Ms. Karger, an important question. Are Bert and Ernie part of an extreme homosexual agenda?
So infantile because, yeah, PBS are never political, are they? Well, let's have a look at a show the taxpayer-funded PBS produced.
So, get your singing voices ready. And we're going to start with our hips. The hips on the drag queen go swish, 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 swish. The shoulders on the drag queen go shimmy, 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 blah, blah, blah.
Oh dear. But there was one lefty losing it even more than the Democrats, and some would say lying even more than the Democrats. And that was NPR CEO and hard left ideologue Catherine Ma.
Do you think that white people should pay reparations?
I have never said that, sir.
Yes, you did. You said it in January of 2020. You tweeted, yes, the North, yes, all of us, yes, America. Yes, our original collective sin and unpaid debt. Yes, reparations. Yes, on this day.
I don't believe that was a reference to fiscal reparations, sir.
What kind of reparations was it a reference to?
I think it was just a reference to the idea that we all owe much to the people who came before us.
That's a bizarre way to frame what you tweeted.
Oops, yes, her old tweets are coming back to haunt her. There are plenty of them. Ma's old tweets are a hot mess of far-left lunacy and racist emoting, a lot of anti-white racism, and then loopy stuff like this, like getting triggered with words like boys and girls. She posted, I do wish Hillary wouldn't use the language of boy and girl. It's a raising language for non-binary people. Goodness me. This is a woman who ran Wikipedia and helped ruin that site with leftist propaganda masquerading as facts before moving on to NPR. And today she struggled to answer straightforward questions and tried to justify her past hysterical fact-free statements like calling the president a fascist.
Let me ask you, why did you call President Trump a fascist and a deranged racist sociopath in 2020?
Congressman, I appreciate the opportunity to address this. I regret those tweets. I would not tweet them again today. They represented a time where I was reflecting on something that I believe that the president had said rather than who he is. I don't presume that anyone is a racist.
You don't believe anyone is a racist?
I don't start by presuming anyone is a racist.
Oh, she's on a roll now. Here she got some laughs when she claimed NPR wasn't biased, and she knew nothing about the politics of her editorial staff, like the fact that 87 editorial positions are filled by registered Democrats in DC and 0 by Republicans.
Is NPR biased?
Congressman, I have never seen any instance of...
Never?
Of political bias determining editorial decisions, no.
It was 87 Democrats, 0 Republicans, and you say NPR is not biased.
And those old tweets kept coming back to haunt her. But don't worry, she has changed dramatically in the last 4 or 5 years, or half a decade, as she refers to call it. What a mess.
Do you believe that America is addicted to white supremacy?
I believe that I tweeted that, and as I've said earlier, I believe much of my thinking has evolved over the last half decade.
It has evolved. Why did you tweet that?
I don't recall the exact context, sir, so I wouldn't be able to say.
Okay. Do you believe that America believes in black plunder and white democracy?
I don't believe that, sir.
You tweeted that in reference to a book you were reading at the time, apparently, The Case for Reparations.
I don't think I've ever read that book, sir.
Catherine, you certainly did. You tweeted about it at length. You took a day off to just read the book. You posted, "America begins in black plunder and white democracy. I appreciate the day off today to finally fully read The Case for Reparations." Now you claim you never read it, but you posted about it repeatedly. Okay, let's explore just how lunatic left this woman who ran Wikipedia and now NPR is. Thankfully, Brandon Gill has the receipts.
Do you believe that looting is morally wrong?
I believe that looting is illegal, and I refer to it as counterproductive. I think it should be prosecuted.
Do you believe it's morally wrong, though?
Of course.
You tweeted, "It's hard to be mad about protests," in reference to the BLM protests, not prioritizing the private property of a system of oppression. You didn't condemn the looting. You said that it was counterproductive. NPR also promoted a book called In Defense of Looting. Do you think that that's an appropriate use of taxpayer dollars?
I'm unfamiliar with that book, sir, and I don't believe that was at my time
You
at
tweeted
NPR.
that you read that book, but...
I don't believe that I did read that.
Now let's go to the disaster that is Disney's Snow White. I can't imagine why people are not warming to this woke reimagining of a much-loved favourite. And they're not warming to its star Rachel Zegler either. Here she is before the election saying, if you don't intend to vote for Kamala, then you should unfollow her.
Vote for Kamala Harris. And it's actually non-negotiable. Our rights are on the line, folks. Our reproductive rights. Come on. Go vote blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business. Thanks.
Okay, Rachel. Now listen to her promote the film.
The girl you remember, but she's definitely made for the modern age, and there's such an emphasis on what it really means to be the fairest of them all. And for Snow White, it's coming to terms with finding herself and finding her inner voice and finding a sense of agency so that she can be a just ruler.
And the reviews are in, and even the leftist publications can't put lipstick on this pig. This production is a train wreck. Let's go to some of these reviews. We've got this from The Independent. Lazy, visually repellent. Ouch. Exhaustingly awful and toe-curling terrible, said The Guardian. The most controversial Disney adult nightmare ever was from Rolling Stone. A strange hot mess, said the Huffington Post. And good enough for TV. That's the nicest you'll get from Vanity Fair. Now, you all remember Jussie Smollett? Well, we may have found the female version. A Pennsylvania city worker, Latasha Brown, has been charged with staging a fake hate crime after she allegedly planted a noose on her own desk.
The Downtown Police Department conducted a thorough investigation, including interviews of persons, analysis of evidence, and consultation with the District Attorney's Office of Lehigh County. As a result of the subsequent investigation, Latasha Brown was charged with tampering with or fabricating physical evidence, a misdemeanor of the second degree, and false reports to law enforcement.
Seems like the demand for racism is outstripping the supply. Now let's go to Elon Musk's transgender son, who Teen Vogue has featured in their publication, just so this kid can blast his father and the Trump administration. Why else would they feature Vivian Jenner Wilson, a 20-year-old that's not really doing much, not exactly setting the world on fire, even with their social media output?
Give us some of your political beliefs.
Kill everyone now. Condone first-degree murder. Advocate cannibalism. Eat filth are my politics. Filth is my life. Take whatever you like.
And for being so brave and stunning and hating on her anti-woke dad and, of course, Trump, Vivian gets a Teen Vogue fluff piece complete with the star treatment.
I look like Ghostface.
Now to CNN with some sobering news about Donald Trump's popularity. If there are any lefties in the room, I'm giving you a trigger warning. This is going to hurt.
I think sometimes it's important to do a little bit of reality check and take a little different spin at the numbers. I'm going to do that right here because all we talk about is how unpopular Donald Trump is. But in reality, he's basically more popular than he was at any point in term number one and more popular than he was when he won election back in November of 2024. What are we talking about? His net favorable rating right now comes in at -4 points. Compare that to where he was when he won in November of 2024 when he was at -7 points, or March of 2017 when he was at -10 points. So when you compare Trump against himself, he's actually closer to the apex than he is to the bottom of the trough. And of course, that's so important because Donald Trump, historically speaking, has had his numbers underestimated. So I think it's very important to compare him to himself to understand he's actually more popular now than he was when he won.
So, despite the media hysteria and lies, Donald Trump is more popular now than when he won the election in a landslide. Remember, he won every swing state. He won the popular vote. He beat Kamala Harris 312 to 226 electoral college votes. It wasn't close, folks. And if there was an election today, those polls indicate he'd win with an even bigger margin.